After a 15-year break, Oasis is finally back. The Gallagher brothers are burying the hatchet to reunite one of the most iconic bands of the 90s. This comeback isn't just a huge event for fans, it's also a potential economic windfall for businesses. Omer Bakkaloglu reports.
In the 90s, Oasis wasn't just a band, they were the wonderwall around an entire generation. Their anthems became the soundtrack of youthful rebellion, with hits from the Definitely Maybe album defining the Britpop era. But as fame grew, so did tension between the Gallagher brothers, leading to their split in 2009. And now, Noel and Liam Gallagher have finally decided it's time to stop looking back in anger. They are putting their differences aside to reunite Oasis after 15 years, triggering excitement throughout the music world. For fans, this reunion is nothing short of miraculous.
All the people of Manchester are going to be happy, not only because a big rock band's reuniting, but also two Mancunian brothers from this city, from Burnage, are reuniting and squashing whatever they had in between. They're doing something major to come back and give the fans and the people what they want and what they've been wanting. So yeah, over the moon, man. Way over the moon. I'm joking, check me out, man. Check me out.
The band will play 17 shows across the UK and Ireland next summer. But as with any major event, demand for tickets is through the roof, with prices climbing as high as $6,000. The surge was also driven by dynamic pricing on ticketing sites, where prices fluctuate based on demand.
It feels pretty crazy, like how much money it is. Yeah, I don't think I would spend that much money on one night. I guess it shows kind of capitalism at its finest. It makes sense as an algorithm, but yeah, I wouldn't do it myself.
I think the whole Ticketmaster pricing scheme is reprehensible. I think it discourages true fans from accessing what they really want to see, and it creates a whole lot of competition that doesn't need to be there.
With concerts planned across the UK, businesses are gearing up for what could be one of the biggest financial boosts they've seen in years. From packed hotels to busy restaurants and pubs, the ripple effect will be felt far and wide. The reunion tour is likely to deliver a significant boost to the UK economy, similar to Taylor Swift's UK tour, which analysts estimated would generate around $1.3 billion for the economy.
So we've worked out it's going to bring about just touching £20 million into the nighttime economy. When I talk about nighttime economy, that seems like hotels, taxis, restaurants, bars, new outfits. So the impact is absolutely huge, and the hospitality is really welcoming it.
So, as Oasis prepares to take the stage once more, the tour will be a clear demonstration of how big music tours can serve as powerful engines for economic growth. Omer Bakkaloglu, TRT World.
Joining us now from London is music industry analyst Mark Mulligan. Great to have you on the programme with us, Mark. Now, this is a major comeback for the British music scene, so demand has been very high, but actually getting a hold of these tickets seems to have been a struggle for fans, given the elevated prices. Can you tell us a bit more about these ticketing issues, particularly with Ticketmaster, and if they've been resolved so far?
First of all, thanks for having me. There are two key issues at play here. Number one is just there is something that is unrelated to technology, and that is simply that demand massively outstrips supply. And this is not exclusive to the Oasis concert. For all of the superstars playing nowadays, you have far more fans wanting to get to see them than there are tickets available. So that's a premise upon which the live music industry has thrived over the course of the last decade or so. And then you've got the technology issue, which was server capacity wasn't up to scratch. There was technology in place to try to deal with bots trying to get tickets, and many people were misidentified as those. People were booted out of queues. And then the business practices were, in order to meet that excess of demand, ticket prices got higher and higher the longer people were waiting. So it was a perfect storm of all of those ingredients, really.
Right now, almost 1.5 million tickets are expected to be sold, with many coming from overseas. What kind of an economic boost can we expect to see in the UK?
First of all, I'm a little cautious about sort of estimates about wider economic boost, because what they do is they do not remove the baseline. So the baseline is, in many of these venues, if Oasis wasn't playing, another band would be playing, and another band would bring their fans, and their fans would stay in hotels, and and all this sort of things associated with that. There is no doubt there will be a boost, and there is no doubt that this is going to be both an economic and cultural moment for the UK that will probably be looked back at in a decade or so's time. But I think the more interesting thing is what it says about the health of the live music sector. The live music companies, the big live music companies, they obviously suffered greatly during the COVID lockdowns, but the revenues now are nearly double what they were before COVID. And so clearly what we're seeing is that in this era of on demand, where everything is just available everywhere, there is no scarcity, live music starts becoming far more appealing, because it is something that is utterly scarce, and is something that is an experience, something that is personal, and something that is memorable, a real antidote, if you like, to the online experience of music.
Right, and like you say, demand for live music events has been very high recently. Much like we saw this summer with Taylor Swift, fans are spending more and more on events like these. So why are we seeing such a shift in spending habits?
Well, there's a number of different things at play. One is there's this longer term trend, which is the music matters to people because it moves them and it helps shape their identity. And so the history of music over the decades has people been showing who they are fans of. And in the old world, that was quite easy by having your music collection in your bedroom, etc. But with streaming, it's really hard to identify who you are. It's, you don't have a profile page to show, which band you like, etc. Live music is one of those places where you can really express your identity through music. And therefore, consumers have progressively attributed more commercial value to it. They're spending more and more. Ticket prices have been going up every single year, as well as the number of tickets being sold. So live music has essentially become a fandom product.